Ipswich Winter Night Shelter was started 3 years ago because there was a need in Ipswich to look at the homeless situation. Around about 3-4 o'clock, the cooks for that night shelter starts cooking, and then slowly the volunteers will start coming into the night shelter around about 4 o'clock and start setting up the beds and laying out of the tables and doing all the things that are needed for the evening and for the morning to keep the night shelter running. It's a huge, huge job for the volunteers, but thanks to them it runs really well. We have also been very well supported by the fire service this season. We are actually one of their charity projects, so for them I think it's been a lot of fun because they've been along most weeks to the shelters and they've got a lot out of it. We've heard some really touching stories from the firefighters about how their lives have been touched.
We first became aware of the night shelter through one of our community safety practitioners, Sarah. She came along and spoke to the watch, asked whether we'd get involved, whether we'd help out. So we had a chat about it, thought about how we could help and decided, yeah, it's a good cause, so yeah, we'd like to get involved.
It's doing various jobs, from cooking, from cleaning, from mending pool tables, putting up shelves, having a quiet chat, making a cup of tea, serving food, or even just sitting in silence, because it's acknowledging that the person's there and it's okay just to sit and be quiet.
I think the night shelter is a really good initiative. I think it's excellent that the fire service can get involved, providing more support for them, extra pairs of hands, and it's good for us to get involved with our community that we serve.
Well, they were very appreciative, obviously, of the food and the shelter for the night. It can be very cold, obviously. We've been fortunate, a little bit of mild weather this year, but should there be snow or anything else on the ground, I can't imagine how cold it must be to sleep out for that length of time, so it can't be good fun.
Whilst I was talking to one of the gents who had asked whether we were on call, we'd finished clearing up in the kitchen and that. I went back to talking to him, you know, seeing how he was and everything, and then we got a call over the radio for a fire call out at Martlesham. So we had to say our goodbyes quickly and let it back onto the truck, and away we went on Blues.
One of the guests that had been quite a regular there, he used to wander through the town centre during the daytime and then go back to the church hall at night, and he was wandering through the town centre and one of the pumps, one of the fire engines was going through. It was actually Red Watch, was going through, and he looked up and they were all waving at him. And he went to the shelter that night, we were there, and he said it was just so lovely that they acknowledged my presence. They acknowledged that I was there and I was somebody. And it's just one small act of putting your hand up and having a little wave.
There is one gentleman who was with the Ipswich Winter Night Shelter who says that his life has been touched and changed, and I know it has. He had been using heroin for quite a number of weeks. He was starting to actually become quite addicted and he was terrified. He had left his partner and their little girl because he felt that his life was just spiralling out of control. And this young man has since stopped using drugs. He has taken on board that it was either sink or swim, basically. He stopped taking drugs. He is now back with his partner and their little girl. And when I spoke to him last week, he said life is just so different. So that's just one story of many. For majority of the guests, I would say for over half, they've been accommodated, they've found jobs, so that's been really, really good. Once again, the shelter will be starting up at the beginning of December. It's a huge project that needs to be started quite a few months before December, so the work will be ongoing all the time. We are looking to start befriending and mentoring, which I think is going to be a huge plus for them, because as the night shelter ends, we won't just be saying goodbye. There will be that ongoing support, so that's very, very exciting as well. So the future for Ipswich Winter Night Shelter looks very promising.